You think you can watch this till the end? Try not to look away when the third car shows up, with no license plate and no sound. Imagine this. It's 2 a.m. The gas station is dead silent, the air heavy with fog, and the only light flickers from an old, buzzing bulb above your head. You're working the night shift, half awake, half dreaming, when headlights suddenly cut through the darkness. It was supposed to be another quiet night behind the front desk of the small roadside hotel where I worked. The kind of job that paid little but gave me peace. Just me, the flicker of the monitor, and the sound of distant cars slipping by on the highway. I liked the stillness, but that night, silence felt different. Heavy, like the walls were listening. Around 1:40 a.m., the automatic door hissed open. A man stepped inside, tall, expressionless, his clothes slightly damp as if he had been walking for miles. Without saying a word, he placed a folded newspaper on the counter and asked in a calm voice, "Got any rooms available?" Something about his tone felt wrong. It wasn't what he said. It was how quiet he was, how his eyes never blinked. I handed him a keycard and watched as he drifted toward room 107. 10 minutes later, the intercom buzzed. His voice came through, soft but sharp. "The lights in my room keep flickering. Can you check the circuit?" I went down the hall. The moment I reached his door, I noticed something strange. The room number plate was missing. It wasn't fallen off. It was gone, like it had never been there. I knocked anyway. No response. The air felt colder here. When I turned the handle, the door wasn't even locked. Inside, the room was spotless, the bed made, the bathroom light on. But the man wasn't there. Only the newspaper he'd left earlier sat on the nightstand, open to a story about an unsolved murder in another town. Same hotel chain, same kind of room. My skin tightened. I rushed back to the front desk and checked the system. Room 107 hadn't been booked for weeks. There was no record of him checking in, no transaction, nothing. The CCTV feed from the lobby glitched for the exact 2 minutes he had stood in front of me. I called the police, trying to sound calm. They arrived within 15 minutes and searched every room, every hallway. But the man had simply vanished. No footprints, no name, no trace. One officer looked at me and said quietly, "You should go home tonight. We'll handle it." Before leaving, I looked once more at the monitor. The feed flickered back to life, and for a single frozen frame, I saw him standing at the end of the hallway, staring directly into the camera, smiling. That was the night I realized some guests never check out. Story 2, The Gas Station Stalker, rewritten version. My name's Meredith, and for the past year, I've worked the overnight shift at a lonely gas station just off an empty stretch of highway. The job was simple. Refill the coffee machines, wipe the counters, and wait for sunrise. I never minded the quiet. The hum of the fluorescent lights and the occasional truck passing by had become my strange kind of comfort. But one night, that silence turned into something else. Something that felt like it was breathing right behind me. It started with little things. The motion sensor door would chime, but no one would walk in. The bathroom lights flickered even after I replaced the bulbs. Sometimes I'd look up from the counter and swear I saw someone standing near the pumps, watching me through the glass. Every time I blinked, they'd be gone. Around 3 a.m., I noticed a car parked across the road. The engine wasn't running, the headlights were off, but I could feel the weight of someone's eyes on me. It sat there for nearly 2 hours. When I finally stepped outside to get the license plate, I realized there wasn't one. The spot where it should have been was just empty metal. That's when my chest tightened. The next few nights, it happened again. Same car, same silence. But each time, it parked a little closer. My coworkers laughed it off, saying maybe it was just some guy waiting for a tow. But I knew better. Every shift after that, I could sense him before I saw him, like the air changed when he arrived. Then one night, the security monitor glitched, showing old footage from the previous shift. Except, in that recording, someone was standing inside the store, in the corner behind the shelves, watching me from the dark. The timestamp showed 2:37 a.m., the same minute the power had cut out 2 nights earlier. I grabbed my phone and called the police. They came, did a quick check, found nothing, and told me to stay alert. The car disappeared after that. I almost convinced myself it was all in my head, until a week later, I found a folded note under the door. It said, "You look tired tonight, Meredith. I liked your red sweater better." No one knew my name. No one should have known what I was wearing that night. Now I leave the lights on even when the sun comes up, and I never, ever take the highway alone. Some people think they're being watched. I know I am. Story 3. The cars without license plates. I should start by saying this. Back then, I didn't believe in fear, not the kind that hides in silence. I worked the graveyard shift at a small gas station sitting miles away from the nearest town. The place was surrounded by empty fields and broken fences, with only one road leading in or out. Most nights were slow. A few truckers, a lost traveler, maybe a police car on patrol. But one night, something changed. Something that still keeps me awake whenever I hear an engine start in the dark. It was around 2:15 a.m. when I noticed the first car. A black sedan pulled up near pump number 3, headlights still on, engine running, but no one got out. I waited, assuming the driver was checking directions or using their phone. But 10 minutes passed, then 15. The car just sat there. Then, as quietly as it had